Good morning, everyone. So we're middle of the week already. We continue with the Gospel of Matthew chapter 5, which is the Sermon on the Mount, and we'll pick up on that, but very briefly touching on the fact that today is the feast of St. Barnabas, who was an apostle. And so, don't remember Barnabas? Yeah, well, many of us don't actually pay attention to, I wouldn't say the lesser apostles. Remember, there were 12 of them, and Barnabas was one of those. He was quite significant in that he accompanied Paul on one of his first missions to go out and preach, another perhaps giving him reassurance and giving him guidance even, going with Paul to do that. And he also accompanied Mark, the evangelist, the writer, who wasn't an apostle, but the writer of one of the Gospels, when Mark went to visit Cyprus. So Barnabas's influence, I think, is quite significant in the lives of both of those people. Coming back to Matthew's Gospel, chapter 5, Jesus says, "I have not come to abolish the law and the prophets, but to complete them." And I think that very much answers the statement some people say, well, the church must get with the times. I think even in the election of the new Pope, people are sort of saying, we hope that he's progressive, or we hope he's not too progressive, or we hope that that he's not too conservative. And we hope that the Pope will, in fact, continue with the enthusiasm and the light and be a Pope of the people. And so it's not just that appointment, but it's also the way in which we live our lives, the way in which we behave as Catholics, what goes on in our approach to our Catholicism. And is the church getting with the times, or is it that we're expecting the church to change? And Jesus is saying, hang on, I haven't come to abolish the law and the prophets. I've come to fulfill it. I've come to complete them. And that teaching and that completeness is something that's still applicable to us today. So we must investigate what it is that Jesus is saying and say, well, how does that still apply to me in this time, in 2025? And how significant is it? And maybe it's just that it's not that the church is not getting with the times. It may be that we are not appreciating what the church is offering us in the time in which we live. So, meet the needs of the people, very important, but also understand the message that Jesus brings to us and how it applies to today. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you again. God bless. Bye-bye.